Hello, I am Brian and I am the Theoretical Gamer. First off, I just want to say I'm having a lot of fun making these videos and I've been kind of being part of the community. I'm not super popular yet, but my subscribers are like in the 50s and slowly creeping up there, so I'm having fun. Do a selfish plug here. My most popular video has been my review of Machinations of the Space Princess. I think it's because the author James Desborough linked to it from his blog. Maybe that's the reason. But I've got 97 views. So me being selfish, tell a few friends. Let's kick it up to an even 100. All right, now the topic of today for discussion is Memetic Theory. Now, the idea is, I think Richard Dawkins came up with the idea that a meme, M-E-M-E, is the germ of an idea. It's like the core of an idea that is spread from person to person. When he first came up with the theory, the idea was that he wanted meme to sound like gene, because they were passed down through families and generations. But eventually, the concept expanded that it wasn't just like genetics; it passed like a virus from person to person, right? The term meme was then kind of co-opted by the internet to mean internet memes like lolcats and rickrolling and all that kind of stuff. But the original term is kind of fascinating. The idea is that ideas and belief systems are kind of like viruses, and they spread similarly, and they take hold in people's minds. And one interesting aspect is, to me, what I've seen is the meme comes first, and everything else comes second. If the rationalization, the reasons why it's true come after. The meme is in your head first, and then you will do whatever, and then you'll protect the meme. Any proof that the meme is false is ignored, and in often cases in some cases they'll cover it up and prevent anyone else from seeing it. Let me give you an example. In the United States in the 1960s, John F. Kennedy is now known to have been quite the baller. He was very much a player. He had sex with many, many women. At the time, though, no one really knew about it. But the White House press corps did know about it, and they kept quiet. That would be unthinkable nowadays. Like, you would be like, if he was overly flirty with a girl, they'd be all over that shit. But at the time, there were, I'd say, two popular memes in play in society. One, the office of the president should be respected. You may disagree with his politics, you may not like him as a person, but he is the president, he is the leader of our nation, and we should respect that, because honestly, how does it look as a country if we're against our leader? It's like we wouldn't let other people slam our president. We shouldn't. We need to have a unified front. Those are the rationalizations, but the core of the meme is the office should be respected. And second, the press reports news, not gossip. They had a gossip column, maybe, but if you're a serious reporter, you're reporting on politics, you're reporting on wars, you're reporting on disasters and real things. If the president's little indiscretions, that's not real news. The public doesn't need to know that shit, right? You're lowering yourself by reporting that. Again, that's those are rationalizations for the meme. That's what people will say to defend their meme. But those were in place, and I would say that the whole Watergate scandal with Nixon got rid of the whole first meme. Kind of removed the sanctity of the presidential office, and I would say that the modern day 24 hours internet cable TV news cycle, where they always need something to keep the ratings up, that killed the second one. So memes do change over time. It's like a generational thing. Like, you're not going to believe the same things that your grandparents did. Modern day example, go to South Korea, or just go online. Do a Google search for South Korea fan death. There is a very widespread belief, believed by intelligent people like college students and medical doctors, that if you leave an oscillating fan on in your room while you sleep, you could die. This is a very widespread belief in South Korea. And of course there are, like any meme, there are people who are contesting it and people who are saying that's stupid and that's dumb. But, but even they probably don't leave the fan on because deep down that's what they were raised with. And anyone outside of South Korea is like, what? It's a tiny little motor and some moving air. There's nothing that will kill you. It's like, unless the motor like shorts out and a spark catches the room on fire. But you know what? That could, that's not the fan killing you. That's just an electrical accident. No, they believe that a fan running and the moving air could kill you. So, and of course you'll have doctors saying, well, no, obviously the simple act of a motor moving air won't kill you, but it could exacerbate already existing illnesses, and those could kill you. Because deep down they're intelligent. They know that a fan as a moving air won't kill you, but they still have that meme. So they find reasons why it still is true. Weird, huh? Anyways, how does this attach to gaming? Well, I've mentioned this before, but I like superhero gaming. And of course, when you sit down and you're trying to recruit people for superhero games, you're going to get that one guy who joins the group because he wants to play something, but he's going to be all passive aggressive and be like, well, do we have to play supers? I don't like supers. Supers are dumb. Why would they dress up like that? Why would anyone just go out and fight crime and do that stuff? That's stupid. I want to go into dungeon and crawl. I want to go into dungeons and kill monsters. That's realistic. Stuff like that. But, okay, let's look at the standard superhero universe. You've got people with strange powers. That's acceptable. I mean, it's fantasy, it's fantastic, but, it's a trope, so you accept it. Okay, you have, super science. You've got people who are trained and skilled beyond anything that they should be. That's fine. But what behavioral memes exist in a superhero universe to encourage that behavior? Okay, one. Superheroes and supervillains are icons. Deep down you believe that if you have, you could theoretically go out in your sweatpants and a t-shirt and rescue people and fight crime and beat up criminals wearing your old college sweatshirt and stuff like that. But you wouldn't be considered a superhero. People would be like, oh wow, you saved my life, you're wonderful, have you ever considered becoming a superhero? Well, I am a superhero. Oh, would you just get caught on your day off because you're not wearing your costume? Oh, I don't have a costume. But I thought you said you were a superhero. Right, you should be, a superhero should be an icon. He should be larger than life. This is why they take hero names. This is why they wear colorful costumes. This is why or at least a symbol that is recognizable, And who knows, maybe the meme started back in World War II when you had these wartime Captain America heroes that were held up as symbols, right? If you don't have a code name and you're not, even if your identity is public, if you don't have, you're probably going to, you're not going to be taken seriously as a superhero. And the same goes for villains, there would be the belief that if you're not dressed up in some costume, you're not living up to your full potential. You could be just some punk who robs convenience stores, but the second you get superpowers, there's this unspoken belief that, well, but if I wear this black costume and swirling cape, I will inspire fear. And I will be Death Mask. And so yeah, there's superheroes are icons. At one point, I thought that maybe there was a meme about secret identities being sacred, or at least respected. Like this way, like, well, like you have even a villain would be like, well, I could do some research and find out who he is, but that would not be right. That would be cricket, dirty fool. And of course the total scumbag villains would completely ignore that and go after you anyway. Because every time there's a meme, there's someone who's going to buck that meme. But I think if that meme ever existed nowadays, it would be similar to the press reports news, not gossip, or the office should be respected. I think in the modern day world, that one would be fading, because you go back even into the 50s. Nowadays, it would be too easy to figure out someone's secret identity. Unless you wanted to completely ignore that bit of realism. But if you're like but like even back in the 50s and 60s, a sufficiently dedicated private eye, like, could just doing legwork and footwork and asking questions, could probably figure out your secret ID. So there was probably a meme in place that no. On some level, you don't think of him as a person, you think of him as an icon, and therefore you don't want him to be brought down to a human level. Right? And I remember there was the scene from a comedy film called Mystery Men. It was a superhero comedy where the heroes are sitting around in a diner talking about how, I think, the main superhero of the world says, who has this billionaire as a benefactor, and obviously, we all know that they're the same person. He's like, I think it's Lance Hunt. He's like, well, yeah, well, we'd be like Captain, I forget, it's been so long since I've seen it, but it's like Captain Amazing or Captain something. It's like, we'd be great too if we'd be at Captain Amazing's level too if we had Lance Hunt as a benefactor. He's like, Lance Hunt is Captain Amazing. So that's ridiculous. Lance Hunt wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't. He takes them off when he transforms. That's ridiculous. He wouldn't be able to see. Right? So, which done for comedy, but it's an interesting little example of how people will protect their memes. They'll jump through weird little mental hoops in order to do it. Next, there's a meme that if you have powers, you should use them. You should use them. You could use your fire powers to just light people's cigarettes at parties and impress people, But there's always it would be like there would always be the belief that if you have superheroes, you should be doing something cool and impressive with them. It would be like if you found out some girl out there had the potential to be the greatest novelist in history and could write prose that would bring strong men to tears, but all she did was write Harry Potter /fic twice a year. You would kind of look down on her. You'd think that she was wasting her potential. So it's the same thing as you have superpowers. You should be out there using them. You should be doing something. Come on. Another meme is, I guess you could say, the superhero code. The idea that superheroes are held to a standard, the belief that superheroes have, you do not kill, you find another way. And then you hear these people who hate that. They don't hate it when they read comics. They hate it when they're playing superheroes, which is a kind of a self-serving little belief system, because, well, if superheroes existed, they should be able to kill whoever they want, because otherwise they'd just be cops. They would have, the whole idea of being a superhero means you don't follow the rules. Okay, let me give you an example as to why that's stupid. Right? You have superheroes who do that are considered like vigilantes at best, villains at worst, and are hunted down because they're just killing random people without trials. Right? Well, I knew he was guilty. I saw him do it. Yeah, right. Yeah, that'll hold up in court. But so what happens is, because of their public iconic nature, they're held to a higher standard than most cops. Cops can make mistakes, and it'll be brushed under the rug. It might, in the modern day, it'll be spread all over the internet. But for the most part, if you're a superhero, it'll be even worse. You know, it's basically just players wanting to kick the door open and kill what's on the other side. But for the most part, they have, it's like deep down, I think if you're a superhero, you know that on some level you're allowed to go out and do what you do on the sufferance of the public and the government and the police, right? The idea is you help out where, like, alien invasions and natural disasters and things where you're really needed. You help out, and in return you're allowed to do these things. And the second, like, heroes get it in their head that, hey, we are above all that stuff, let's just start killing people, then that's going to be the end. Everyone's going to say superheroes need to be controlled and stopped, and they'd probably be right to say that. Interesting little side idea. What if in your game you characters, this is just a silly little thing, it wouldn't be the focus of an adventure, but it would just be a little tack on. But let's say you have an idea where you go to another alternate Earth, another dimension, like a Sliders type alternate universe. And in addition to whatever other differences, what if the anti-smoking meme never caught on? Let's be honest, it is a meme. People who are infected with the meme will tell you that it is no, it's the simple truth. Smoking will kill you. There's not one person in the world who has ever taken a puff of a cigarette who did not fall over dead instantly. Which is ridiculous, but I think that if they put out a study that said that if you puffed a cigarette and you fall over dead instantly, they would be like, I knew it! Exaggeration, of course, but people will grab whatever info supports their meme, and they will reject anything that goes against it. So naturally, we, for generations, so imagine where you go to a world with the I don't even smoke, but we've all met that annoying anti-smoking person. So go to another universe where the anti-smoking meme never caught on, and people still smoke in restaurants. They still smoke on airplanes. You go into an office and people are just casually, like that. But instead, the meme caught on to caffeine. So if you're like drinking a cup of coffee, people would be like, well, I hope that's decaf. I mean, you're killing yourself. And they will point to all these studies and all these findings that will tell you that that no one has ever drank caffeine and lived, and how it takes decades off your life, and you won't be able to find any caffeine in convenience stores. I mean, like, decaf or caffeine free will be the norm for everything. Like, what? Give caffeine, just sell it over the counter? What? Children drink that. You don't want children drinking caffeine, do you? No. And it would be an interesting little add-on to an alternate universe, just to show them that they're not at home, right? And it's an interesting question. I'm sure that you play games where characters travel and go to new places. What memes exist in these new places that people travel to? You would call them superstitions, you would call them beliefs. But once you get the core of the meme in someone, it affects their behavior in different ways. It affects how they think, how they act, how they react to others. It could be, obviously in a medieval type game, like a D&D type game, you're going to get a lot of the meme of outsiders are dangerous, or outsiders are evil. They don't share our ways. So you might get that. So that's something to think about. What memes exist in your world, and what memes exist in different parts of your world? How will characters interact with these memes? How will they conflict with them? How will they agree with them? So, food for thought. Heads up. Talk to you later.